Welcome back, people. Trash talking with the old heads. We still on this NBA discussion, but this one is more important to me, brothers. The state of the NBA and the state of the game, bro. From what I was reading, man, they've been losing viewership every single year, and not just a small amount. I mean, big percentages of viewers not watching anymore. What
Since
changed?
2000. Yeah, I saw that since 2012, they've lost from where they were at in 2012, they've lost half of the viewership.
Right. And I have to admit, I'm probably in. I don't watch nearly as much of it as I used to, and that's just being real. I still do. I watch, yes. I probably watch more than your average person, but not the way I used to watch. You know, where you could sit there all day and whatever game is on at night, I'm watching both games. Now I pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? Matchups that I want to see. So, G, from your perspective, what's the issue, bro? As a fan, what's the issue to you?
I would say
So I
I
know we
think
probably
both.
all differ a
It's a
little bit.
couple different things. You know what I'm saying? I think them taking way too many 3-point shots.
Yep.
It's become like a 3-point shooting contest. Um, Load management has kind of, impacted fans from a perspective of, especially ones that want to go to the games or even want to just watch. Like you don't know, who's going to play. Since it started, it has taken a turn, and especially in the perception of fans when even when players are legitimately hurt and taking, what I'm saying, taking a game or two off, what I'm saying, then it's considered load management, and the perception is that they just taking it just to what I'm saying, to
Just to
keep
be
the wear
doing
and
it.
tear down on their body. And so when you have that and you have the national talking points and old heads always, lamenting the state of the game, what I'm saying, if I'm watching, TNT, I'm watching First Take, I'm watching, whatever show I'm watching, and it's all, the game ain't what it used to be, and is, what I'm saying, it's a bad product. You know what I'm saying? And when you have other alternatives to go and watch, you got college football, you got basketball, NFL, you got all these different streaming channels. You know what I'm saying? So there's multiple things to watch now. Um, so I think all of it kind of plays a part in, what I'm saying, the loss of fans.
Right. Jerry, you agree? What do you
Oh
think?
yeah, I
What
agree.
do you
I
see
agree
as
with
the
some.
issue? Anything different?
I agree. I agree with some of the stuff. Greg is saying. Um, I was looking to see. I thought I was right when he said that the viewership down since 2012. The Heat won the championship in 2012. That was part of their back to back. And then you got the Spurs, and then you go into the rivalry between the Cavs and Golden State. One thing that I want to mention that Greg did not mention is think about the Warriors when they got KD, right? When they got KD, I didn't even watch that season. I boycotted that season until we got to the playoffs. I didn't watch it until we got to the playoffs. Then once we got to the playoffs, I really went back to not watching it because that to me that disrupted the competitive spirit of the game when you add a KD to what they were already doing, re-revolutionizing the game, so to speak, and finally getting a three-ball team to win a championship. Once they added him, that just killed. Nobody had a shot. They damn near swept the playoffs, adding him. So when you eliminate competition in sports, that is something that's going to always leave a bad taste in the fans' mouth, or the true fans, not just the casuals. So yeah, that's going to have people like me specifically not watch. And you were talking, Dante, you can't, that you watch games, but you don't just long for them like you used to. I always like to go back in time around the holidays. Like my family is a basketball family, my entire family. around the holidays, see your folks, hug and kiss everybody, eat food, and then you get in front of the TV and you watch every freaking game. We hadn't done that as a family in over 10 years because of the product. The product is not there. Yes, 3 balls. Yes, all that stuff Greg said, but it's too much, too much of the same thing is not good in sports. Where's the parity? And some people say, it'll be fine. We just in an era where we just need to find who our next stars are. Well, if our next stars are going to be playing like this, that's not going to change anything. So I don't know what the answer is. I would like to try the widening of the 3-point line, making it the same distance all the way around, which will widen the court, and we'll see if we can get back to post play. But I think doing that and then taking away the 5-second back down rule, giving the big man some leeway to play, and then allowing the turn of defense, I think those are some things that could probably help at least give teams a chance to have a different identity rather than all this jackball. Because the other thing we got to figure out is how do we get the big man back involved into the basketball game? You got people like Big Ziti, who they benched him this season. Now he did have an injury, but they've already taken him out of the starting lineup because he can't play in this style. So, it's I hate to see it because I'm using hate again. I don't like to see it because I love the game of basketball. I really do, but I really can't watch what we got right now.
Yeah, I do too. And I know, Greg, you had brought it up yesterday when we were talking about the rundown and everything. And I thought about it last night. I was like, how likely am I to watch the NBA over the NFL? There was a time where if it were the right NBA game, I would definitely pick it.
Right.
Now whatever they got on Christmas, more than likely, I'm gonna watch the NFL. It could be the damn Titans and the damn Patriots. I'd probably still watch that. You know what I'm saying? And it's gotten to that point for me. And it's not the biggest thing. It's the threes. That's part of it. But I'm sure if you look at the numbers, that's up. But I'm sure they take, like JJ Redick was saying, that the twos being taken are about the same as what he was saying. It's not like we stopped taking 2-point shots. But for me, it's what you said, Jerry, the variety in the game. Like, I watched basketball growing up to watch Patrick Ewing and Shaq and the Lonzo Mourning. I like that kind of basketball. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't find that anywhere anymore, nobody plays that. Well, let me not say nobody. I don't like to talk in absolutes.
Oh, you're right. Nobody.
Yeah, but it's hard to find. You know what I'm saying? Even the Joel Embiid don't like being on the block. You know what I'm saying? Big your boy in Denver, Joker. Sometimes he get on the block, but
he's the only one that's going to take advantage of a matchup. In the post. He's the only one.
And that's what you like seeing. It's hard to find. Most nights you can't find it. You know what I'm saying?
Back to the bucket, that is, yeah.
Right, back to the basket. You know what I'm saying? And I'm with you. Take that rule away. Let a big man be a big man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you don't want him backing your guy down, then come double then. You know what I'm saying? Get back to basketball. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's just, and I think they're saying, I'm glad your boy spoke out, G. I was happy to see that. You know what I'm saying? That your boy LeBron did speak out about it. You know what I'm saying? And realize that there is an issue, because I think they have to realize any business can go down. You know what I'm saying? And it's coming if they don't make changes. You know what I'm saying? Because if you get fans who are diehards like us who start watching less, then the casual isn't watching anymore.
Yeah.
Well, so, I can't say that I don't watch. I even got the league pass. I watch. You know what I'm saying? I don't watch like the full games.
Hey, G, I do too. Wink, wink. You know
what I'm saying? So now I think it's more. I think a lot of it is somewhat leaning toward perception, man. Because Jared just made the statement that teams don't play like that. Back to the basket, take advantage of mismatches. There are some teams that do. It's not a lot of them, but there are some teams that do. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's more to do for me, the style of play, with the lack of big men. You're not going to have a back to the basket game if you got somebody like Isaiah Hardenstein. I mean, what is that, Hardenstein, as your
Mm-hmm.
big man.
Chet
Uh,
Holmgren.
right. You're not going to have a back to the basket game when your big man is Rudy Gobert. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So,
right.
you have a plethora, a
Again, supply and demand.
large amount of players that play on the wing.
Right.
And with the way that analytics have evolved, you know what I'm saying, spreading the floor does open up driving lanes. So that's why you see, a lot of layups. You see a lot of threes because teams can't defend that wide of a space. It's just impossible to do when you have athletes the way that they have, when you have the perimeter game the way that they have. And I'm not saying players back in the day couldn't play this same way. It's just the way that the rules have changed and the lack of big man or the lack of big men that have been developed
So
to
let me
play
ask you
big man ball.
just while I'm thinking about it, something you just said, to drive into the lane, because that's another issue for me. How do you bring the physicality back where I can go make you pay for driving to the lane? I'm not saying knock your head off, and I'm not talking because you know old heads a lot of time. Oh, it was so physical. They'll clothesline you. That's not basketball. Okay, I'm not with
And
that.
it wasn't every game.
And it wasn't every game. Right. I agree with you. So that's why I said that. But I should be able to foul you without thinking, damn, they're gonna throw me out the game.
That's what they
Yeah.
For this layup.
We don't need to go to the monitor on every hard foul,
Right.
ladies and
right.
gentlemen.
Yeah,
We don't
that
need to
needs
do
to be
that.
eliminated. That needs to be eliminated. I do think they made some good rule changes with the hand checking rule. But at the same time, I think they call too many fouls where there's just body contact.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so the defender really can't keep his space. You know what I'm saying? So I think they need to allow more physicality from a standpoint, not hand checking and guiding a player, but being able to get in a guy's
Be
space.
You can be physical without hand checking, you know what I'm saying, on the perimeter. You can still be physical. The game is like that. But when you still have the refs that enjoy the control that David Stern left, by trying to ensure that we never have the malice in the palace again. These
Right.
refs enjoy. You have certain refs that enjoy
That's
that
what changed.
particular power,
Yep.
and I don't know how we get rid of that. I don't know
that's
because
the event that changed the nature of physicality in
Yep.
basketball. That event is what really tipped the scales. They were already calling calling a lot of flagrant fouls, but it was the one they really weren't calling, you know what I'm saying, like going to the monitor to see if it was a true hard foul or not. You were going to the monitor when somebody got shoved in the back. You knew why they
Right.
was in the air. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Those were
we
the
just
plays that were being
But
called
we
they
we
flagrant
just
fouls.
take
we just
more
saw we just saw
green. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, because some of the best games I watched, well, I ain't gonna say the best, but the more entertaining games we used to watch back in the day were some of those Knicks Heats, and the damn score might be 85 to goddamn 80.
Oh, bro, I ain't going there with y'all with that bullshit.
I
That's
am. I am.
them
Those were
80.
some of the most enjoyable games I've ever watched in my
We
life.
like the intensity, but the
But
basketball
that's the
aesthetics is
part I'm
piss
speaking
poor.
about. But that's the part
Okay,
I'm speaking. To me,
but
that's the biggest thing
okay,
that's missing.
so we're talking the physicality. I like
Oh,
it. You know what
the
I'm saying?
intensity of the game is what's
The rivalry,
yes. And I'm
the
playing
intensity.
hard.
Okay,
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
my
Right.
bad. I thought you was talking about the
Oh
actual
no,
basketball
no. I'm
because
talking
that
about the
basketball
intensity of the games where
from
you were enthralled by what you were watching because these
yeah,
dudes gave a damn.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm a fan of today's game from a standpoint of the scoring, but the scoring back and from '96 to about 2006 or 2007, that was bad basketball, man. I didn't like it.
I'm not
I
a
didn't
fan.
like it.
I'm not a fan of every
I didn't
game
like it.
being 125 to 120. I don't want to
I ain't
see
a fan of that, but I don't want to see no 70 to 60 games either.
most games, G, and we've talked to me, you and I have talked about this. I can go to the box score and look at the 3 points, and I can tell you who won. That's just the way it is. I
the
can tell you
the
who won the game.
the games G is referring to. G, you didn't have a whole lot of games like you had teams that bogged the game down, like that Pistons, the last Pistons championship team. That's one of the best defenses in the history of the game. They held opponents to 85 and 90 points and stuff like that. So you had a few teams that could do that. Then if you go back further than that, when we could, you know what I'm saying, put some wood on people coming into the lane, you know, 100 points was the max that, you know what I'm saying, the teams were getting to. But what we got right now, we just had Jordan Clarkson and some scrub from the Pistons both got tossed from the game. Not one punch
Acting like they wanted to fight, right?
Not one. All they did was go up like this. They both got ejected. That's ridiculous.
Gay. Hold on. Let me not say that. We on public airways. that's not kosher, man. They got to get they definitely got to reintroduce, you know what I'm saying, rivalries. They got to reintroduce intensity, you know what I'm saying, and not have people getting flagrant fouls and getting fined for, you know what I'm saying, for just, you know what I'm saying, bowing up. You know what I'm saying?
And stop all this. You know, the super team is it seems like it's dead, but let's stop all this, you know, KD, Booker, and fucking Bill on the same team. Let's stop, you know what I'm saying? Let's get away from that. That's crazy.
That to me isn't necessarily a super team because KD is older now.
Oh no, it was an attempt. It was an attempt. I know it's not for sure. You know what I'm saying? We said it when they first put it together.
You can't legislate that though, Jerry. I mean,
yeah, you can. It's a mentality. You going into sports with the mentality in basketball with the mentality of if we get together, then we're gonna change the game. We need to get back to I want to beat you. I want to cultivate a culture of winning here in this city and with this team. And get back to we want to beat you. I want to get good enough
have this argument for decades because again, so you cool with the organizations teaming up the players, but not the players teaming up.
No. See, I hate when y'all do that. I mean, damn, I'm used word hate.
Why? They did it for years.
Damn.
They did it for years. They did it for years.
Literally. You had organizations that built their teams from within. You had those Lakers teams. Yeah, they traded and got.
The Lakers never built their team from within.
Hold on. Can I finish, man? Magic was drafted. Worthy was drafted. Coop was drafted. Byron Scott was drafted. AC Green was drafted. Cap got there before all of them. They had a scrub-ass team before Cap got there. Norm Nixon was drafted. All those players were drafted. They built that team. Now, later on, you traded, you brought in Shaq, but before Shaq got there, Eddie Jones was drafted. Van Exel was drafted. They did trade to get Ceballos, but Ceballos wasn't no star or nothing like
Karl
that.
Malone drafted.
Elden Cap. And see, I'm glad you mentioned Karl Malone. Karl Malone and Stockton raised the franchise up just like Steph Curry them did in Golden State. They built. We can go to the Warriors. They built that team before they got KD. They built the championship team.
That's what we need, dog. You can't make this argument because I mean, when you go back to the Lakers, you know what I'm saying? They didn't draft Kareem. He was the linchpin of their organization.
I said that. But everybody, after they traded for him, everybody else they drafted. For the Showtime Lakers, everybody else they drafted.
When you look at the other super teams that have existed, there have been teams that have not been built just strictly by the draft. There are teams that even today they build their teams and then add another piece.
The Warriors team with KD was unprecedented. That's my point.
That was unprecedented, but
that type of team, that is something you should not have in the sport of basketball. You should not have that type of team in the sport of basketball.
That was unprecedented from KD's standpoint. But for the Warriors standpoint, why wouldn't you try to get the best player and one of the best players in the league to come to your squad?
Because you already changed the culture and built a championship team. You already built one. You built one. You won a championship before you went to the finals.
Did the Boston
3 straight years
in
before that dude even got there, or 2 straight years before that dude got there?
2007, Boston Celtics. Did you have a problem with them? because they didn't build that team.
Man, how many times we had to go through this? No, I did not have a problem with that.
Okay, then
you
only have a problem with the team that you don't like.
You had three players. Greg. You had three players who were no longer in their prime. Number one, you had three players who were never the. Let me finish. You had three players. Let me finish. You had three players that were never considered the quote unquote absolute best player in the league. Yeah, KG won an MVP, but if you go back to his MVP season and say who was the best player in the league, most people are going to say it was LeBron. After that, most people are going to say Kobe. So that is the difference. You had LeBron and KD moving when they were considered the absolute best players in the team, going to join up with all these others. So yeah, I was cool with the Celtics because none of the big three were considered the very best. None of them were in their prime. So that's the difference. No matter how much you want to admit it, that's something we're not used to. These cats moving around in their prime and teaming up. It's just so whack because you know what you're trying to do. KD specifically went to the Warriors. He said, I wanted to play that style of basketball. You could have played that style of basketball in with the Thunder if you put pressure on your GM and whatever, and they do what you say and acquiesce and you change the whole offense. You could have done that. But he specifically went to the Warriors to win championships, and that's whack. That's super whack.
Again, I from KD's standpoint, with that team already being championship material, I already have competed and won and was one game away from winning a back-to-back. I agree. But the organization is always going to do what the organization does, which is try to put together the best in the best interest of their team.
Oh yeah, is that what the Lakers been doing the last few years? Is that what they've been doing the last few years? They've been trying to put the best team together possible. Is that what they've been doing, or they just been doing what the fuck LeBron say do? Tell me which one? What?
I don't know. I ain't Rob Pelinka or Genie Bus, so I can't say.
All right, now you don't know shit.
I ain't Rob Pelinka or Genie.
I get it. I know.
How does that?
I know. Excuse it for. I get it.
How does that relate to us talking about teams making super teams?
I thought that was a very valid point. Once you went into that, the team's gonna do what they want to do.
I got one more thing, bro, that I got to bring up because I went and pulled it up while y'all were debating that, man. What about just the money that they make, bro? Because I'm gonna look at
that's part of it too.
I'm down to number. I pulled up every salary in the NBA. I'm down to number 455, which is Jay Crowder, $1.65 million. So when you make that kind of money, bro, how bad are you really gonna want it? You're gonna have like your LeBrons and people like that who really got legacies that they're playing for. But when your average player is making this kind of money, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I want to go back a little further. Like, so let's say number 280 makes $4 million. So that's number 280 in the league makes $4 million.
So now
the
y'all
money
is a valid point. It plays a big part in it.
Play.
Is that what
you're saying? The money plays a big part in it, Dante, for sure. Great point.
And number 200,
that's a bad point.
Number 200 makes $8 million.
That's
the best player makes $8 million.
That's a horrible point.
How is that horrible, bro? No, my point, it's not about them making the money, G. My thing is, does that make you lazy? Is my question.
So we're saying the players are lazy. I see players that, you know what I'm saying, we see.
Does that make you say, I don't have to play hard in the All-Star game for what? You know what I'm saying? What difference?
The All-Star game, that's a different conversation. We're talking about the state of basketball. Now, the All-Star game, I think, has led to some of the negative perception, which can turn off fans because the All-Star game, that's
a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's a straight up joke.
So move to the money aspect in an 82 game season. Go ahead, G.
Game season. You don't think it impacts?
No, I don't. I don't think it makes them lazy.
Wow. Well,
if they're lazy, they're lazy, regardless.
Okay.
No, I'm saying if you're an average ass player who's already getting generational money, You're not working towards the generational money. I got it already. I got a 4-year, $40 million contract. Whether I play another damn game or not, I'm set for life.
Now, on that aspect, Dante, number one, you're not going to have, I don't care what the money is, you're going to have more players that are not working at the same level as the superstar that really does care about legacy, career. Now you always gonna have that, but what you do when the money is huge, you have more players that are more inclined to love the lifestyle.
Right.
Zion Williamson, LaMelo Ball. You have those type of players who are more connected, who are more they're after the lifestyle.
So we say we never had that in the previous years,
No, what we're saying is it's a greater threat to the game,
right?
Because the money is so high. And Michael Jordan said it best when he was talking to Oprah Winfrey. If you ever want to pull it up, he says that now his exact words were, "We had to earn what we got." Michael Jordan said it best. He said, if I wasn't good or putting a good product out there, then I'm not getting the shoe endorsements, right? I'm not getting that. I'm not getting the level of money that I make. I'm not getting that if I'm not putting it out there. But the change is these guys are being paid more on potential than they ever have been before.
Right.
And the money is so. Tell me how you're going to get LaMelo Ball to stop playing like he does. Y'all look at his numbers and say, "Damn, he clowning." He putting up some great numbers. But watch him play, and you answer my question of, does LaMelo Ball care about winning? When you watch him play, he don't give a damn about winning. He give a damn about that show.
In most leagues are going to make money. My thing is those other dudes now, they making superstar money. Yeah. And it's like, if you're giving an average player superstar money, well, then what is he working for? What I have to improve my game for? I'm already $10 million.
You have to know the you know what I'm saying, the construction of the contract to even dive into this discussion about, you know, what they're actually making and what they're actually bringing.
No, NBA contract guaranteed. Once you sign it, it's guaranteed. Period. This is not NFL contracts. This is NBA contracts. Once you sign it, it's guaranteed.
Not all of it's guaranteed, Dante.
Yes, it is.
100% of the contracts.
Yes, it is. NBA, yes, it is.
Well, when you get into the big contracts, all that.
Will you get to player options and stuff like that, or team option? Yes, it is. Right. Everything else is guaranteed.
Okay, it's not as cut and dry as just, okay, I signed for $70 million, I'm getting $70 million.
The money plays a part in that, because you know what I'm saying? You remember the conversations always, it's a contract year. You have those players that get in that contract year and all of a sudden their numbers go up, then they get that bag, and then they never reach that level again.
So what you're saying, just eliminate guaranteed money?
Huh?
No way to do it. My whole point to bringing it up is I think it impacts the game. I think it's one of those things you can't, when you're not as hungry, you don't go as hard. I mean, even you can think about ourselves personally in your personal development, your personal career. When you're trying to go get it and you ain't got the money that you're trying to get to, you going hard as fuck. Because
Zion Williamson is the greatest example of what we're talking about right now.
But if someone give you that money up front,
so how hard would never have potential players to flame out?
So, no, what I'm saying is somebody in your career up front had gave you $260,000 a year, you wouldn't have been going as hard. Why? I got it. You know what I'm saying? It's just human nature. If somebody giving it to you up front, I'm already making what I didn't
but you can look at you can look at the opposite end of that, and you see players that get these big ass contracts and they still going hard. Case in point, the one y'all love to hate the most, 22 years in, he's a billionaire, worth $1 billion. He's still going hard. It's not about the money. It's about the players' mentality. It's the players' mentality.
You just said most superstars on the different
that's a different level. Those players are rare. We're talking about the rest of the league that are benefiting from his success. you got so many players that are benefiting from his success.
What about is Anthony Edwards going hard? He getting that money. Is Anthony Edwards going hard?
Yeah.
In my opinion,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there are you have
but again,
players in every era.
he's gonna be on that superstar level.
Before I know we got to wrap this up. Before we move on, I'm just gonna say this: you have
Yeah, because
players.
I'm about my computer is just losing power for some reason.
All
I don't know. I'm at 8%, and I have no reason. I don't know why. I'm plugged in, and it's just going down ever so often. So
you have players in every era that flame out, that have potential, that should have been something that we projected them to be, and they actually didn't. And it's because of the money.
That was my point. But my thing is, it's a difference between making $100,000 a year in the NBA and making $5 million a year in the NBA. That's all I'm saying.
But it's a difference in paying 99 cents for a gallon of gas and paying $3.52. The price of the pussy go up. Shit, that's the nature of everything. That's the nature of everything. Pussy used to be $40. Now, you know what I'm saying? You got to pay $100. Just saying.
Wow.
But when you're making 10 million, you don't care. That would be my point. You know what I'm saying? You don't care.
It depends on the mentality. It just depends on the mentality.
Hey, let's get to this signature segment, man. Taking out some trash, G. I know you had some trash you wanted to take out this week that you was pretty passionate about. The floor is yours, brother.
I'm gonna let y'all chime in on it, but yeah, you know, people out there in the world, man, internet, y'all got to chill, bro. I'm not, and I'm taking out the trash on the internet and these internet sleuths and these the people that the court of public opinion that always hear a allegation and always put the person as guilty. Like your boy Charlemagne the God say, why be interested in the truth when a lie is more salacious? The lie is, you know, so of course, what we're talking about is Jay-Z being involved in this Sean Combs, P. Diddy lawsuit, and your boy, what's his name? What's the lawyer's name? Tony Busby.
Mm-hmm.
So they, you know, basically what happened was they went in and had this lawsuit and, you know, attached it to the criminal investigation into P. Diddy and his sex trafficking allegations. And so the lawyer came back and asked for other people who may have had some interactions with P. Diddy or Sean Combs or whoever you want to call him. The lawyer put out this advertisement basically to say, hey, you know, if you've been involved, you know, those commercials you see where they say if you've been involved in any type of situation like that, you can come forward. Just like he did with, if I'm not mistaken, he was the same lawyer that had gotten a host of women to come out against Deshaun Watson. So he's basically an ambulance chaser.
Right.
So the when the allegation first came out against Jay-Z, it was they weren't named. There was Sean Combs, Celebrity A, and Celebrity B. Celebrity B was a female. Now they still haven't named that person, but basically after about a month or two, they end up releasing the name, and so Jay-Z was accused. And of course, you had people on the internet, all on social media. He's guilty. You know what I'm saying? He's a pedophile too. I told y'all he was involved in the Illuminati. Him and Jay-Z friends. Of course, he's guilty. Just coming out with a whole bunch of different theories about this guy, about the situation, and really not paying attention to what was being said. And so I'm like, okay, if he did it, it'll come out in the wash. You know what I'm saying? We'll hear about it. We'll hear the allegations. We'll hear the facts and the evidence. And without hearing any facts, without hearing any evidence, it's okay. The allegations are true. And that's why I'm taking out the trash on. Like people are already jumping the gun and believing everything that is being alleged in lawsuits, in criminal civil actions, And like Jay-Z said, if I raped someone in the manner in which you said that I did, then why is this a civil case?
Right,
Why
right,
not prosecute me? Take me
right,
to court because someone to have done something that heinous to a 13-year-old, which she
right,
said she was allegedly 13 years old at the time of the incident, which happened after the VMAs in the year 2000, said that she was dropped off by a friend at 13 in New York City at the VMAs. The limousine driver said, "Hey, you are someone that my guy's looking for. You're pretty. Come back to this party with me. You're 13 years old." 13, not 17, not 18. And I'm pretty sure there are some 13-year-olds that may look older, but a 13-year-old always is going to look 13 years old to me. I ain't seen one that look like they're 18.
right, right,
And so,
and don't want to.
right,
yeah. and, and so what came out, she had an interview on ABC, and already the
Wow.
holes have already been shot up in the case. She said that her dad came and picked her up after the incident, after she was held down, raped by Diddy, then raped by Jay-Z while Celebrity B was watching. Said that she spoke to a guy that is I can't remember the celebrity's name, but some guy that had tattoos. She had a conversation with him. He came back and said, "I wasn't even in New York at that time
right,
of the event of the VMAs. I was actually in the Midwest on tour."
right,
Said that her dad picked her up after the incident. Her dad said, "I don't even I'm pretty sure I will remember something like that."
right,
Because
right,
she's from Rochelle, about 5 hours from New York. He had to come pick her up 5 hours away in New York City. He wouldn't remember that.
right, right,
He said in the interview on national TV that she said nothing to her dad. Her dad said nothing to her on the way back. It was just a silent ride all the way back. Ma'am, if I'm somebody's dad, my 13-year-old daughter
5
is
hours,
in New York City, 5 hours away by herself. I got plenty of questions.
right,
We ain't leaving New York City without some answers being given some
right,
kind of way. And so it was just a litany of things that came out. It was some things that came out before the interview even was made public that I was like, how are we jumping to the conclusions that he's guilty because he's been named in an allegation?
yeah,
I get that.
they get accused and the narrative shifts to guilty until proven innocent, like you said. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is the court of public opinion doesn't really wait for any evidence. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's just all speculation and, like you was talking about, sensationalism. You know what I'm saying? So
At all.
yeah, that's that culture of like immediate judgment. Everybody got to judge right away, guilty or not guilty. You know what I'm saying? So everybody just scrolling through feeds and just adding to the fire. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like it's no real, I don't know, it's just information overload sometimes, and then a lot of times it's false information. So it's
The problem, the thing that I don't like about these type of situations is everything is ass backwards. You can come out, blame whomever. We talking about Jay-Z, so you can come out, blame Jay-Z and whoever for something that they didn't do, and go forward with it before any investigation is done. Like, we should have got these answers that they on TV given, and the dad's recollection of it, and the other guy that was blamed wasn't there. Like, that information should be gotten. That you should get investigating, get that information first, and then this particular bullshit, if it's proven to be bullshit, never sees the light of day. So, in my opinion, part of this is the way the laws are set up. Because number one, you're trying to get a payday. You know what I'm saying? If you're lying about
Lawyer.
this, you're trying to get a payday.
the lawyer wanted to see the light of day.
Right.
Right.
Also, you get to scandalize, you get to put scandal and smut on somebody who's very successful in what they're doing. Coincidentally, right around the time he's the Super Bowl picks and stuff were done or whatever. Coincidentally, around the same time, Diddy is going through all this trouble. So you got that aspect of it. And then lastly, anytime we start talking about rape accusations and then they come out later that they weren't true, you got people losing their lives and families going to prison over this type of stuff. Until a law is put in place to where the accuser gets the exact same amount of time as somebody that is proven guilty, or not that they were proved guilty but got convicted, until that accusers get the same amount of time, we're gonna always have to deal with this type of stuff. Always.
And I kind of agree with you. I know the pushback to that, Jerry, is that you would have
my word against yours, right?
Yeah, that, you know what I'm saying? So it has to be proven that you
lied.
You
Right.
could completely lied about the situation.
That's hard, but that's hard to do. Even in this situation, you think I might think she's lying. I can't prove it though.
I can't prove it. You know what
I'm saying? Guess what? Guess what, gentlemen? If you take the time to an accuser comes out, whether it's male or female, they accuse somebody of rape, right? Okay. So if we start with evidence, right? You got to have evidence. You have to. The first thing you have to do is we have to set aside something that is clearly evidence of that happening. Not just he said.
You said
not just he say, she say.
That's where you're wrong though. You don't have to have evidence to make an accusation.
But see, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to rape, we need the evidence. We need the rape test and the rape kit. We need some saliva. We need all this type of stuff.
You're getting into something different because a lot of rape victims don't do all that. So
hold on, because the thing that we're seeing, the pattern is somebody goes to prison. They go to prison unjustly. They do a certain amount of time. Later on, the accuser comes out and say, I lied, because they're guilty conscience, or for whatever reason, they come back and say they lied. If you give if you give it time and you investigate, one thing about somebody that is raping people, they gonna rape. They gotta rape. It's just like if you got a pedophile has to, you know what I'm saying? They're sick. They have to do it. So it ain't like you can accuse somebody who's not a raper and they not gonna do it again, or they not gonna try to do it again. You see what I'm saying? They got to do it. They sick. They got to do it.
I get it. In theory, it sounds good, but in practicality, I don't think it will work.
Well, what we're doing right now,
complications to the law, and then also with the manner in which rape happens. Like some people, they're scared to come out because of who the alleged raper is.
Right.
And sometimes it's a little bit, embarrassing.
Some rape victims
don't like to admit it. You know what I'm saying? Like, in certain situations, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just too much. It's too much to put in the law to legislate about. I agree though that if you are proven to be a liar and you proven to, you know what I'm saying, have misled, and it was just totally false allegations.
Unfortunately, rape comes down to he said, she said a lot of times, and that's the problem with it. It's not normally. Sometimes you got, like you were talking about, Jerry, serial rapists who just that's one thing. But it goes on all the time on college campuses where the girl said,
the boyfriend, the girlfriend,
the boy said no, she was here because she wanted to be here. That's a lot of rape cases are like that. He said, she said. You know what I'm saying? So how are you gonna tell me how I feel as a victim? You know what I'm saying? Right. And the dude might seriously think she was saying she was down. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be hard to legislate that like that. You know what I'm saying?
I would agree with the ones that are totally proven to have made the shit up. Like,
if I can just prove it, I got all the evidence. It's a videotape, you know what I'm saying? Something like that, you know what I'm saying?
Like so and then even in those situations, the accuser will never ever admit But I do want to, because I laugh and chuckle when you said the raper got a rape. I'm
They
not
got to.
laughing.
They sick, man.
I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing because it was a Dave Chappelle special when he was like he was talking about Bill Cosby, but he was making a anonymous he was making an anonymous, he was trying to make it as anonymous as possible. He was like, he's a hero, he saves, but he rapes. Y'all don't remember that?
I
I
do.
remember. I remember that. I remember
Rape?
that.
That's crazy.
I remember that.
He saves, but he rapes.
Man, it's about time for this Penn State SMU. Thank y'all for joining us on another episode.
Oh, I forgot. We didn't ran over on time.
With the old heads. Hey, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube, the Facebook.
Check us out.
Got Apple Podcasts as well. We want to keep bringing this content. We need those likes and subscribes. Please hit that like and subscribe button. We definitely appreciate all the support so far. We out here.
Man.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry
Holiday. Merry New Year. Merry New Year.